Oh, hey. Okay, I was trying to do a funny intro there. It's not going to work, so I want to stay focused. Justin Popovich here. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I want a candid look. I've got my webcam turned on, and you can see my fancy white screen behind me. You'd never know that I was in my living room with just a white screen, so you couldn't tell what was behind me. Today I want to talk about, you can see it on the screen, creating a value machine. This is going to be a discussion about the importance, including some tips on building systems and automation into your business, which is definitely something I've talked about before. But I wanted to go at it at a excuse me, at a bit of a deeper level, because there's a lot of learning that's happened for me in my business over the last almost 5 years now that I think stresses the importance of focusing on a particular business and staying with it long enough so that you actually have the opportunity to create what I'm calling a value machine. So let me actually explain what that means. When we first started our PLR business in 2010, so we're actually coming up on, at the time of shooting this video, 5 years that we've been doing this, which is a pretty significant amount of time, especially in the digital world, like with everything changing so quickly, right? We saw a big opportunity, and what we saw was the opportunity to help entrepreneurs, people that were already experts, authors, speakers, consultants, coaches, whatever, people that were really good in their own right at what they did. They had clients or they have programs that they sell or seminars, whatever. They just didn't necessarily have time to keep content pumping out on an ongoing basis, which is a vitally important aspect of growing their online brand. And so we thought, well, here's an opportunity for us to build a business and make money and give them licensed content that we can create for them. It's something that we got very good at, and it fills a need and great way to make money, right? So that's what we've been doing. And in order to really build the consistency and to build the client base, you have to do what we do on an ongoing basis. The content creation business, I kind of always think of it like a newspaper. People are always looking for what's next because they need new content. They need stuff, new and fresh stuff to put out there. And so if you think about the customer avatar that I explained to you, very busy people with lots of clients, and they've probably got lots of stuff on the go, they need that new fresh content coming in all the time. So over the past almost 5 years now, I want to talk about how we've built this, essentially a machine that allows us to crank out a lot of content, and we've been growing the amount of content we've been able to create because of our systems and automation approach. And again, it wasn't great in the early days. It's something we've been focusing on more and more over the past year or so, and we're still trying to get even better at it. But anybody can do this, and I'm hoping the end result of this video really is to get you thinking more from a systems approach and give you some tips as to how we actually built this machine. It's pretty simple. We don't use a lot of fancy tools. What it really took was just a bunch of trial and error to find tools that work for us, that mainly help with collaboration and team communication. And then beyond that, it was just a matter of just trying stuff. So let me actually show you what our machine looks like at this current day and age. I'm sure it's going to change over time. In our licensing business, we have two different websites. So we have Best Quality PLR and Tools for Motivation. Just to give you a really high level, Best Quality PLR is content focusing on business and marketing. So any kind of topics that would help an entrepreneur get a business started or market that business, we create products that teach people who want to learn those type of topics. And then at Tools for Motivation, similar but different approach. Tools for Motivation focuses on the personal and professional development side of things. So human psychology, managing emotions and energy, and the human aspect of living and of business as well. So each and every month, our machine that delivers value to our buyers produces the following, again, at this current day and age. It could be changing. 13 PLR packages a month, and what those break down to are 3 full launch products. So these are the biggest packages that we release each month. So there's 3 of them in total. To give you a bit of context, we used to do a total of 2 and we could barely squeeze that in a month with us working around the clock. Now that's just a small component of the overall picture because of this machine we've been evolving. Next is 4 content bundles. These are scaled down from a full launch, but it's still a significant amount of content. And then 6 PLR research reports. I don't want to go into the specifics of what that includes. What I will do is I've broken it down here into what this actually means in terms of deliverables. So each and every month, our value machine is pumping out 3 full ebooks, so 6,000 words apiece, 18,000 words, 3 mini reports, which is around 1,500 words each, so just shy of 5,000 words on that. 70 new unique articles, 400 words each. That's a significant amount of content. 3 custom-built infographics. So in our business, when you think of an infographic, if you've ever actually outsourced one yourself, it can be quite expensive and it's a lot of work. Then you can usually only use it yourself. For us, we're in the PLR business, so we sell infographics to our customers and we allow our customers to change them and to use aspects or components of those infographics. So a lot of work goes into custom building them, one, and that's a lot of money and time, and 2, building acquiring graphics or creating the graphics from scratch that allow us the right to pass on the ability to our customers to use these graphics. We have to be very careful with that. So that in itself is quite a significant effort. 200 custom-built social media posters, give or take, depending on the package. Similar to the infographic, it's all artwork and graphics that have to be built from scratch, basically. So it takes quite a bit of time, again, and money. 40 pro voiceover audio recordings, 3 sales pages and squeeze pages, and 20 plus hours of topic relevant research, and there's some more here. There's actually quite a bit more if you add up everything. These are sort of the main deliverables that we are producing on a monthly basis, and then that breaks down and funnels into one of those 2 programs that you see at the top of the screen here. So I look at that list right now, and I don't know if you've ever had this experience before, but if you ever take a moment to reflect on where you used to be or the capabilities or the skill sets you used to have and you compare it to where you are today, it's usually a pretty fulfilling experience. Now, it's easy to forget about that and you just look at what you're doing today and you can be pretty hard on yourself, especially if you're like me. I'm sure you are as well. You're a high achiever and you want to be very successful and do well. You can forget. But when I look back and it's like I look at this list, it's phenomenal to me that we've been able to produce this amount of content, but not just once, on a monthly basis over and over again. And it's not because we're working really, really hard around the clock. It's because we've built this value machine that incorporates lots of people, properly integrated systems, and a collaboration system that allows us to make sure that everything stays on track, that the quality is high. Obviously, I say that it's kind of smiling here because I always want the quality to get better, and people still contact us every week saying, we missed a spot here, or the product could have used that, and I agree. I always want to get better, but the quality is still there. And you get what I mean here. This is an evolving machine. So what I'd like to do is actually kind of give you a peek behind the scenes, kind of walk you through step by step how this came to be, how we were able to produce this amount of or build a system that produces this amount of content, and something that I intend to increase over time as well. Again, we are in the content creation business. The more content, the fresher the content, the better, the higher the value being delivered to our customers. So on the next slide, I'm going to show you exactly how we do this and hopefully give you some ideas how to do it yourself. All right, so a big part of building a machine or systemizing your business is to batch and to plan things in advance. So every single quarter, we have a quarterly meeting and we talk about things that have been going on in business. So this happens for all of us. We have different projects on the go. Maybe we're launching a product or we're working with clients, whatever. Business and life happens to us. We gain experience, we get ideas, we get input from our customers, and all of this influences our thinking, especially, and for us, this influences what type of PLR products that we are going to create. And so these quarterly meetings are very, very important, and they're actually pretty fun too, because we get a chance to reflect on everything that we've learned, good, bad, ugly, you name it. And in these quarterly meetings, we sit down and we write it all down, especially that customer input when it is available, because it influences our decisions. Now, during this quarterly meeting, we basically we write a plan and a schedule. Usually we plan our next quarter, sometimes even longer, worth of products. Now, if you think of a quarter, typically 3 months. So for us, that's 13 products per month times 3. So we're talking about 40 different PLR releases. As you can imagine, this quarterly meeting doesn't happen in half an hour. It's a pretty significant chunk of time. Sometimes we block a whole day off to do this. But sometimes, as you know, sometimes planning and sitting down to think and plan, you'll reap the rewards of that time that you spend over and over again, which we do. So based on these quarterly meetings, we come out with a plan and a schedule. So we know at the end of this meeting, here are, let's call it 40 for now, here are the next 40 PLR releases. Here are the titles, here are the general topics. Again, some of these were influenced or requested by customers. In other cases, we created the ideas based on our business experiences and things we've been through. I don't want to go into the details of it. You get the idea. And then what happens is we come away with a very specific plan and a schedule written down. I'm going to explain how we write it down in a second. It goes into our machine. And you can see my awesome little graphic here. I built that from scratch, by the way. I hope you like it. The little yellow motif. It goes into our machine, and that machine is what produces this result, the 13 PLR products a month. So what is our machine? This is what I wanted to explain to you because it's not overly complex. Sure, I bet you this could probably be automated more than we do it right now, but at least we are doing it, and we're doing it at a fairly satisfactory level. I'm quite happy with our results, especially in terms of the volume that we produce. Again, never totally satisfied. We've been there, we've talked about that. Here's our machine, at least at a high level. Asana, Evernote, Dropbox, and email. Okay, those are the four, I did four main components in our machine, aside from us as business owners. When I say us, I'm talking about Ted, my business partner. Him and I do most of this work up front, and then we start distributing the work into our machine, which includes our systems. So let's first talk about Asana. I actually have I have it running here in my browser. I don't want to go into it too deep because it shows our actual projects here. But we put all of our project requests into Asana, which is an app that you can actually sign up and run for free up to a certain number of users. So let's say you have a team of 9 people, writers or researchers or programmers if you're in the software business. Who knows? Maybe you have testers. You put them all into Asana and you can assign work from here. And it's nice because it's all email integrated, so people will get an email when they see their assignment, but they go into Asana to see the details of it. If I quickly expand this and I scroll down the left here, we've got like hundreds and hundreds of projects in here. Some of them are archived. I mean, I can scroll here for quite a long time. But what's nice about Asana, there's a couple things that we do. One, we put all of our resources in here. And 2, we template our projects. So we have, I talked earlier about how we have a full PLR product. That's one style of product with a certain style of content within. We have a content bundle, totally different style, different requirements. So each project has its own template. We don't have to write the requirements from scratch each time. We wrote them once when we built this system in Asana, and then we just build future projects based on the existing templates. Then, without going again into too many details, but let's say one of the assignments in building a full PLR product is to write an e-course. So we have the assignment that goes to a writer in this case. So we have different writers and specialists. I'll talk a little bit about hiring in a second. We have writers, specialists, and experts that we hire depending on the program, and we usually give them an outline like so. Write a 6,000 word ebook on topic A, and we have our steps here. So create the project outline, send the project outline to the writer uploads the e-course, and so on. Now here's the great part is because we've been evolving the system over time, when we assign, let's say, a 6,000 word ebook to a writer, we don't want that writer to just freeform the design. We have a very specific template in Microsoft Word that we want them to follow with headers and so on. So the table of contents gets built and it looks consistent for us. We built that template. The template gets saved into Asana and we just reuse it over and over and over again. This is part of how the machine evolves. We didn't start like that. We had different styles of templates for every project until one day we learned, let's standardize this. And again, that's how machines get built, is you just slowly evolve. But if you start with a tool like this, right? If you start with Asana, just that, and none of the other tools I mentioned, this will at least give you a central point to control all of your projects, and then you will see opportunities to further develop your machine and the ability to systemize what you're doing here. So we have project outlines. The communication with the resource happens right here in Asana. So email triggers get fired. When the writer's done, they post the actual work right in here and we can download it. If it's a larger file that, let's say, is going to be, 100 plus megs, then we'll integrate Dropbox, which is another one of the tools. But it all works together very, very nicely. And again, if your team is over, I think it's 15 resources, check the number in Asana. Then you pay, I think, a whopping $50 a month, which is nothing for a project management tool of this capacity. So let me go back here. I have to go through all my animations. So Asana, definitely a huge project management tool that you want to check out. Love it. Next is Evernote. So if by now I'm sure you've heard of Evernote. I've talked about it a lot if you've watched any of my other videos. Evernote is great because all of the communication that happens either in team meetings. So as an example, if you look on my screen right now, I say that we have a quarterly meeting and we devise a plan and a schedule. That's literally an Evernote document that goes into a shared notebook that both Ted and I can see, and in some cases other resources on our team can see, right? If we have people on the help desk, or if we have programmers or people helping us with editing, they might need to see some of these schedules and projects so we can add them to our notes as needed. But all the communication now goes in a central place. Before, it used to be, let's have a team meeting and write all of our notes on a piece of paper, and then I'll email you when I'm done this and that and so on. It doesn't work, right? With Evernote, it becomes our standard platform for communication. If there are to-dos in terms of our schedule, they go right into Evernote with a checkbox either with my name beside it or Ted's name beside it. Great in terms of communication. Now I can go into Evernote at any time and see, okay, Ted's done with the scheduling for product for the April release. And then I can go to Asana and actually check the progress of that. Evernote is really good for writing down all of the things that you discuss in your internal team meetings, but as well as meetings that you have with the staff or the people that you hire. Let me actually show you Evernote here. Here it is. So here's a quick look. I have an Evernote notebook called Launches. We do a lot of PLR specials, and a lot goes into building them. We have the main sales pages. If we have updates or upgrades or one-time offers, we need to know the URLs of those, the buy buttons of all those. We have somebody that develops this for us. So when their project is complete, when they've built that sales funnel for us, all the details are here in Evernote. I don't have to Skype back and forth. I just go into the single Evernote for the February 27th weekend special, and I see all the details here. We also have, I'm not going to click on it right now, there's a lot of personal data there, but we have one right there called BQP 2013. It's a huge notebook. All of our team meetings get tracked in there. So usually once or twice a week we meet and we discuss stuff over and above our quarterly meetings. All those notes get kept in one spot. So if I forget what I discussed with Ted on Monday's meeting to make sure that we're on track, I'll just go check Evernote and it's there. So we're reducing the amount of remembering that we have to do, and we're putting everything into systems where we force ourselves to use it. So there is no exception to the rule. If we agree on something, it goes into Evernote or it doesn't exist. So you kind of have to enforce it that way. The rest of it I won't demo because you've probably seen this stuff before, but Asana and Evernote, definitely make sure you check those out. Dropbox, by now you must be using it, but Dropbox is great because you can create shared Dropbox folders. Actually, right now, before I turn this video on, I got a Skype message from one of our outsourcers or resources who does transcriptions for us. I've created a shared folder, so whenever she's done with a transcription, the transcribes get uploaded right to that folder. I just have to go on my hard drive basically and click the shared folder in Dropbox, and I can see, yep, all the transcriptions that I hired her for are done. I can have a quick glance and then pay the invoice. I don't have to wait for her to send me an email or anything like that. It's very quick. So with Dropbox, you can create shared folders for all of your different resources, right? If you have somebody building video for you, create a video folder or put that person's name on the folder. If you have a team folder, let's say you have a business partner or there's a few of you working together in a team, you can have a shared folder where you all put your assets. You can have a Justin folder and a Ted folder. I put all the stuff I've been working on in this one, and Ted can quickly see, oh yeah, Justin's done the sales page or whatever, and I can go in and see Ted's done with the graphics for the next launch and so on. So this shows you our value machine, at least from how we create the products. This doesn't show you all of the other machines that we've had to build as well, right? Each and every PLR product that we produce comes with a pretty giant sales page, and the sales page has graphics, it has a description of what's included in the product and so on. All of that is built on templates and systems as well. And then to make money off of all this work we've done, we then have to launch those products. We take the sales page and put it on a launch page, and then get affiliates to promote it and so on and so forth. That is a marketing system. These machines all begin to work in conjunction with one another. But I think my real message here is if you can create a value machine where, like in our case, creating content on an ongoing basis that fills the need of these experts and authors and coaches and so on who are our customers, they need ongoing content on an ongoing basis. We've built a machine that allows us to produce more and more and more of it at a high quality level so that they get a huge return on their investment with us. The more we can tweak and improve this machine, the more value we'll deliver to them. the more customers we can acquire, or we can do even more business with our existing customers, or ideally both, right? So that's pretty much all I'm going to say about that. The last little bit here, I mentioned it earlier in this video, and I just wanted to touch on it quickly. What I didn't explain in all of this is when I went into Asana and I talked about hiring resources. So for us to build a PLR product, we have a writer that writes the ebook. We might have a different writer that writes articles. We'll have somebody that does editing and review of those things. We'll have a designer that creates infographics. We'll have a designer that creates posters. We'll have somebody that builds sales pages. If there's an audio aspect of the product, we have a voiceover specialist who does that work. So at any given time, we could be incorporating 5, 6, 7, 8 or more resources, and that took time. Okay, you're not going to be able to hire good people out of the gate and be done with it and have a system like ours. I told you we've been evolving this since 2010. We really made a focused effort to do this a lot since 2014, and that's why it's coming a lot more quickly for us now. So what I wanted to say about the hiring piece of this is that we made some mistakes earlier when we were building our machine, where we just wanted to start outsourcing everything and do it quickly. And what we realized is that's not really the way to do it. What you want to do, at least what's worked for me, and I suggest you try this, is hire people on a short-term project basis. So if you need something done, let's say you need somebody to take an ebook that you've written that teaches your clients how to achieve some result, and you want a video summary of that ebook to use for marketing. Okay, that's a pretty good example. So, and you don't want to be the one creating that video. Go and find a video specialist, and there's plenty, I'm not going to tell you how to do that. There's plenty of ways of finding resources to do that. And hire them on a fixed price, fixed cost. Say I have budget of X for somebody to create a video, write your requirements very clearly, and then hire the person to do it. If that job goes well, have another job ready, or at least start thinking about another job that you could assign this person if it goes well. And if it doesn't, you walk away and you leave it as is. But if it goes really well, then this is the kind of person you want to hire again. Don't make them wait. Have something ready for them to go next. I'm assuming you're in a business where you're going to be able to afford this and so on. But if you're starting off small, your outsourcing budget shouldn't have to be huge. For $100 or $200, you can get a lot of different things done. Now, what I found is all the people that work for us now do so on an ongoing basis and usually on a project basis. There are very few cases where we'll say we're going to pay you X amount monthly and we just expect you to work X hours. It's usually on a per project basis. So every time you complete this, and this, we're going to pay you this. And then as soon as you're done that, we'll give you a new one. And for us, that's the best way it's worked. It keeps everybody motivated. It keeps us on our toes because we have to come up with new projects for them. We don't want to lose them, especially if they're a good resource. But at the same time, if they have a lot on the go, they don't necessarily, the people you're hiring don't have that pressure to deliver if they know you're just paying them monthly. So for me, this keeps everybody really nicely accountable in a fair, honest way. And it allows you to hire people over and over again that have done a good job for you. That's sort of a side discussion. I could probably go a lot deeper on that, but it was important for me to close the loop on this whole, what is it called? Value machine. I forgot the name of my coined term. So, I'm getting tired here. This was a long video. I hope this helped you see sort of how our business runs. I've really uncovered a lot of how we do things, and there's no secrets. It took a long time to build this, and you could definitely replicate it if you're willing to put in the work. But just because it's simple at a high level doesn't mean it's easy, right? So you got to put in the time. My hope is that you can at least borrow some of these concepts or use this video as inspiration to start automating, integrating, creating machines around certain aspects of your business that can help you pull yourself out of the loop and deliver more. So this has been Justin Popovich. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.